Hello everyone, and welcome to Athens. So today I am going to be going around Athens and seeing some of the sites that may be not on your list. I am not going to go to the Acropolis, I'm not going to go to the Acropolis Museum. I know those are the two big things that everyone hits when they come. There's so much more to see here in Athens that I don't think people really know about. So we're going to explore that today. Our first stop today is going to be at the Pantheatic Stadium, also known as Marathon Stadium. This is the stadium that they built for the very first modern games of the Olympics, and it is all made of marble. So the reason why it's also called Marathon Stadium is this is where the now modern day Athens Marathon finishes. Can you imagine running into this stadium at the end of almost 2 hours, sometimes longer of running? There's a young man running by. The entire thing, like I said, is made of marble and it holds 60,000 people. Alright, so I'm now in a tunnel that's off the stadium that I'm assuming where the athletes come in from. Actually, up the hall is a small museum about the stadium and the Olympics and the marathon race. So if you get a chance, it's a good place to come and learn more about it. They do have some audio guides, but I didn't take one because usually I end up spending too long in one place. So I'm trying to see as much as I can today. So what's really cool though is they have pictures of the building of the stadium. And the first modern Olympics was in 1896, so the photos are pretty amazing. Alright, I am now in the National Garden, which is basically smack dab in the middle of Athens. And I don't think a lot of people know to come here, except for the people that are cutting through on their motorcycles. The thing about the National Gardens is it's free to get in. It's basically like a big park. So you'll see people running, walking their dogs. So it's not like a place where you're going to necessarily see like signs for what you're looking at. It's basically just a big park. It's really nice. And it's shaded, and it's nice and cool and quiet. So, the National Garden, I did find a sign. The National Garden was the planning started in 1839 and 1840, and they brought in 15,000 trees and plants, and then it was declared the National Garden in 1923 and was open to the public. So they do have a sign where I found that telling you more about the trees and some of the sculptures, but I don't think there are going to be signs on the individual trees or at the sculptures. So just come and enjoy the nature. I am massively out of breath because I just climbed up, I don't know, 100 stairs to come to the funicular that takes you to the top of Lebaticus Hill here in Athens, which is the highest point in the city. So this is the building where you come to go up to the hill. You can walk up it, but that's not happening for me. Alright, so you walk up the stairs after you get off the funicular. Oh, and you start to see glimpses of all of Athens. Wow. Oh, there's a cafe up here. Okay, you have to walk through the cafe to get to the top. Good to know. Okay, totally worth all the sweat getting up to the funicular to come up here and see this. Wow. You can see all the way to the sea. Oh, and there's a church. Wow. I can't believe I've never come up here before. This is amazing. Oh, and there is the Pantheatic Stadium I was at earlier. And the National Garden that I walked through to get up here. You can also see the Acropolis. Alright, hey everybody, it's now Sunday, and as you can see, I'm down here sitting on the street in the main road in Singtagma Square, watching the changing of the guard in front of Parliament. It happens every hour, but on Sundays at 11, it is a ceremonial, more of a ceremony than on the regular days, and it's very crowded. I did not get here early enough to be in the front. I had to move because I started to not be able to see. And now I'm probably getting dirty looks from the people behind me, but we have a little bit better view of the actual ceremony now. It's very precise. Athens is that sometimes you just never know when you're going to run across an ancient site. So I've walked by this place a couple of times this week. It is on the main road from my apartment down to Singtagma Square, and it's an old Roman bath that they found when they were digging the subway, and it was like going to be a ventilation shaft, which ended up being further down the street. So, sorry about the traffic noise, but yeah, this is it. This is the Roman bath that they found when digging the subway. And what I love about it is, it's just here on the sidewalk. You can walk by, there's no cost to get in, and for once, there's actually signage. Something really interesting. I wanted to come into this Olympian archaeological site, and because because it's Sunday, it's free to get in, which is great because if you wanted to do like all the package with the Acropolis and everything, it's 30 euros, which is totally worth it because just to get into the Acropolis is 20 euros, but I'll take free any day. Alright, so this is the temple to Zeus, which obviously there's not much left, but it is one of the larger sites here in Athens to see, and I've walked by it multiple times on my way from my apartment, which is over there somewhere. So what is really interesting about this site to me is that you see these columns and you think, wow, that's really amazing that they lifted that huge column of marble up and put it in place. But what you can see by the one that's fallen down is it's actually pieces, which is kind of dark in the video, but what you can see is when you look at the marble columns is they're actually sections. So, but still impressive because then they had to lift that individual piece up onto the other pieces. And some of them you can see little like holes in the sides of them, and you think, well, okay, maybe they had like some sort of tool to help them lift it, but it does make you wonder how they did that. Right, so now I am in the ancient Agora, which is just down the hill from the Acropolis. And I almost didn't come today, and then I realized it was free because it's Sunday. But that means everyone is here. I've been here before. Granted, it was very early in the morning, but there was no one here. I mean, literally, I was the only one walking through. So the ancient Agora is where the Romans used to come and meet. It was kind of like a marketplace. And so there are still ruins about, and they're still discovering more, actually. So this was the entrance, and just beyond that was another site that they're still excavating, and you could see like the walkways and things. So they've been excavating the Agora since 1930, so kind of tells you there's probably still a lot more to discover because of time and buildup of debris and dirt that happens on an archaeological site. This is the temple to Hephaestus. I may not be saying that correctly, but it was built in the 3rd century BC and was used until the 1800s for many purposes, including a museum and a place to host kings, apparently. Now you can't go inside, which is good, but it has an amazing view. I'll show you of the Acropolis. So, and then the ancient Agora. It's a good spot. Also, over there is Leviticus Hill, which is where I was yesterday. And you can see all of this from there. Today I am in the oldest house in Athens. And what's great about it is it's free to enter. The only thing is they're only open for about 3 days a week for a few hours, so you need to check the hours before you come. So this is the upstairs. It looks like some kind of bedroom possibly, or sitting, actually maybe a sitting area. There are benches around and a fireplace in the back. There's some kind of event happening later today, it looks like, because they're busy preparing, so I apologize in advance for any noise. There are lots of large storage jars that are either for wine or for storing of grain. The other thing that's interesting is over here is what looks like a pipe going into another pot, and on the other side of this wall here was a room saying that there was a wine press. So I'm wondering if wine was pressed and then put into one of these jars, although it looks like a permanent jar. But yeah, there are pipes all over, so that's always very interesting to me.